Did you know one car can lose $89,000 the moment you drive it off the lot? Another sheds 80% of its value in just 2 years, turning a $64,000 purchase into an $8,000 car? Right now, 15 brand new vehicles are financial landmines, and if you're shopping anytime soon, you need to know exactly which ones to avoid before your money disappears. Number 15. Dodge Hornet. Starting with Dodge's latest attempt to crack the compact SUV market, the Dodge Hornet. This thing loses a brutal 51% to 62% of its value in just 5 years. On a Hornet that easily tops $40,000 with options, that's over $25,000 gone. The issue starts with identity. Dodge essentially took an Alfa Romeo Tonale, changed the grille, and marketed it as American muscle. Buyers noticed immediately, and the brand confusion killed enthusiasm. Then come the electrical nightmares. Dashboards randomly go black while driving. Cruise control shuts off without warning. Alarms trigger at 3 a.m. One owner's Hornet completely died after 6 months, throwing 20 error codes at once. Dealers were stuck with 323 days of unsold inventory, nearly a full year. Massive discounts on new models crushed resale values. Against Toyota and Honda, the Hornet never stood a chance. Number 14. Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Next up is Jeep's attempt at American luxury, the Grand Wagoneer. With prices ranging from $90,000 to $110,000, it loses a brutal 48% to 57% of its value in just 5 years. That's $50,000 to $70,000 evaporated. A big part of the problem is Stellantis, Jeep's parent company. Ongoing recalls, quality issues, and reliability scandals across multiple brands have seriously damaged consumer confidence. When the parent company keeps making negative headlines, resale values suffer fast. Then there's the identity crisis. Who exactly wants a 6-figure Jeep? Buyers at this price point can choose Mercedes-Benz, BMW, or Cadillac, brands with far stronger luxury credibility. Running costs make things worse. The Grand Wagoneer guzzles fuel, scaring off second-hand buyers, and dealers made it worse, slashing $15,000 to $20,000 off new models, destroying used values overnight. It looks impressive, but your wallet feels the pain. Number 13. Genesis G Vivo 60. At number 13 is Genesis's first dedicated EV, the GV60. It launched with praise for its futuristic design and quick performance, but the numbers are ugly. It loses 49% to 61% of its value in 5 years. On a $63,738 sticker, that's over $35,000 gone. Quality issues didn't help. One owner reported 10 major failures in 3 years, none fully fixed. In cold weather, the dashboard can shut off completely. No speedometer, no displays. Genesis recalled other models for this issue, but not the GV60, leaving owners frustrated. Even worse, some drivers report sudden emergency braking in intersections, stopping the car mid-turn. Phone keys fail, power outlets quit, and glitches pile up. The EV market itself is brutal, with non-stop price cuts and rapid tech advances. Add Genesis's still young luxury reputation, and resale values collapse fast. Number 12. Toyota BZ4X. Here's a name that shocks people: Toyota. The BZ4X, a brand normally known for bulletproof reliability, loses about 50% of its value, wiping out over $21,000 from its original $42,713 price. The damage started immediately. Toyota recalled every single BZ4X after discovering the wheels could literally fall off while driving. That's not a minor defect. It's a catastrophic safety failure that shattered trust from day one. Charging performance didn't help. While rivals like Hyundai and Kia support 350 kilowatt fast charging, the BZ4X maxes out around 100 to 150 kilowatts. Range tops out at 228 miles, which is painfully average in today's EV market. Owners also report brake glitches and sudden lurching during acceleration, dangerous in traffic. Toyota had to roll out heavy incentives to move new inventory, and those discounts crushed resale values overnight. Even Toyota isn't immune when a product misses this badly. Number 11. Nissan Ariya. The Nissan Ariya was meant to be the refined evolution of the trailblazing Leaf. Instead, it got swallowed by a brutal EV market shift. From its original $50,381 price, the Ariya loses about 54% of its value, wiping out roughly $27,000. The timing was terrible. The Ariya launched just as strong rivals from Hyundai, Kia, and Ford flooded the segment. Then Tesla dropped the hammer, slashing Model Y prices. When the market leader cuts new car prices, used values across the board collapse, and the Ariya got crushed. Sales slowed to a crawl, forcing Nissan to slash prices on 2025 models, instantly hurting anyone who bought a 2024 at full price. The final blow came when Nissan ended US sales for 2026, sending resale confidence into freefall. Real-world numbers tell the story. Ariyas that sold for around $48,500 are now trading near $22,300 after just 1 year. For early buyers, the financial hit has been painful and unavoidable. Number 10. Ford F-150 Lightning. Breaking into the top 10 is a truck that was once surrounded by insane hype. The Ford F-150 Lightning. Early on, waitlist stretched past a year. Today, the excitement is gone, and the Lightning loses about 47% of its value from its original $74,558 sticker, roughly $35,000 erased. At launch, many dealers piled on massive markups, sometimes tens of thousands over MSRP. Buyers who paid those premiums took a brutal hit once Ford increased production and began cutting prices to stay competitive. Resale values collapsed almost overnight. Real-world usability didn't help. Cold weather severely drains range. One owner began with 149 miles on a chilly morning and drove 64 miles, only to be left with 37 miles remaining. That math is ugly. Towing makes it worse. Pulling 3,700 pounds for just 32 miles can consume 90 miles of range. Ford has already paused production for months, and dealers are sitting on roughly 100 days of inventory. For truck buyers, the lesson is clear. Hype fades fast, depreciation doesn't. Number 9. Alfa Romeo Giulia. At number 9 sits one of the most beautiful sedans on the road, the Alfa Romeo Giulia. It's thrilling to drive, full of character, and undeniably special. Unfortunately, it also loses 54% to 62% of its value within 5 years. On prices ranging from $40,000 to over $80,000 for the Quadrifoglio, that's a serious financial hit. Owners often joke they know their service advisor better than their neighbors. Throttles stop responding, computers crash, and the car can suddenly drop into limp mode, barely moving. One driver reported more repair visits than oil changes in the first year. Resale values are wildly inconsistent. The same 2024 Giulia might be listed at $24,000 at one dealership and $36,000 at another, a massive gap that reflects uncertainty and fear. The root cause is Alfa Romeo's long-standing reliability reputation. Even with improvements, stories of electrical gremlins and costly repairs linger. Once the warranty ends, many buyers walk away, shrinking demand and crushing resale value. Number 8. Jaguar I-Pace. At number 8 is Jaguar's early electric gamble, the I-Pace. When it debuted, it turned heads with sleek styling and even beat German rivals to market. But awards didn't save it. The I-Pace loses between 58% and 72% of its value, erasing over $50,000 from its original $73,750 sticker. The biggest blow came when Jaguar announced it would discontinue the I-Pace, shifting its focus to ultra-luxury EVs. Once a model is canceled, used buyers get nervous about long-term support, updates, and parts availability. Technology moved on quickly. As a first-generation luxury EV, the I-Pace was rapidly outclassed. It maxes out around 100 kilowatts charging, while newer competitors hit 250 kilowatts or more. What takes rivals about 20 minutes can take the I-Pace 45 minutes. Then there's Jaguar's reputation. Concerns about reliability and high repair costs scare buyers, especially outside warranty. Combine outdated EV tech with an expensive-to-fix brand, and demand collapses. The I-Pace was a pioneer, but depreciation punished early adopters hard. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Number 7. BMW iX. Next up is BMW's most polarizing electric SUV, the iX. With pricing that starts in the high $80,000 range and easily climbs past $100,000, depreciation hits hard. the iX loses roughly 52% to 70% of its value, wiping out $60,000 or more in a short time. Design plays a big role. The oversized front grilles divide opinion instantly, shrinking the pool of buyers. Inside, the cabin is high-tech but overly complicated. Touch-sensitive controls replace simple buttons, leaving many drivers frustrated rather than impressed. Supply didn't help. BMW built large numbers to push EV adoption, then leaned on aggressive lease deals since imported EVs don't qualify for tax credits. Now those leases are ending, flooding the used market with iXs. Real stories say it all. One owner paid $118,000 and traded it in 18 months later for $56,000. That kind of loss scares buyers away. In a fast-moving EV market, expensive tech ages quickly, and bold styling only narrows demand further. Number 6. Audi RS e-tron GT. At number 6 sits one of the most stunning EVs on the market, the Audi RS e-tron GT. It's brutally fast and undeniably beautiful, but depreciation is savage. Over 5 years, it loses between 53% and 72% of its value. On a sticker price of $140,000 to $170,000, that can mean nearly $90,000 gone. That kind of loss is hard to ignore. You could buy a brand new BMW M3, 2 Corvettes, or put a serious down payment on a home instead. And unlike this Audi, those options actually hold value. The RS e-tron GT shares its platform with the Porsche Taycan, but that comparison hurts more than it helps. The Taycan delivers stronger performance, a better reputation, and healthier resale numbers. For most buyers, the Porsche simply makes more sense. On the used market, demand is tiny. Few people want to spend $60,000 or more on a complex electric performance car. Concerns over battery replacement and massive repair bills scare buyers away. This is a car for those wealthy enough to ignore depreciation entirely. Number 5. Tesla Cybertruck. Cracking into the top 5 is the most hyped vehicle of the last decade, the Tesla Cybertruck. It launched with over 1 million reservations, year-long waitlists, and bold promises from Elon Musk calling it Tesla's best product ever. But the hype train didn't just slow down, it derailed. The Cybertruck loses around 50% of its value in under 2 years. The design is polarizing, to put it politely. Many buyers say it looks like a truck drawn with a ruler. That sharp, angular styling alienated traditional truck owners, contractors, farmers, and tradespeople who need durability, not a conversation piece. For most, it's more art project than workhorse. Early buyers flipped trucks for double MSRP, but that bubble burst fast. As Tesla ramped up production and cut new vehicle prices, used values collapsed overnight. Anyone who paid over sticker took a brutal hit. Then came the quality issues. The stainless steel body stains easily, shows corrosion, and is difficult to repair. Panels misaligned, parts failed, and owners flooded social media with problems. By 2025, market data showed first-year depreciation approaching 35%. A brutal reality check. So much for appreciating assets. Number 4. Mercedes EQS SUV. At number 4 is Mercedes-Benz's flagship electric SUV, the EQS SUV. Positioned as the EV version of the GLS, it's packed with tech and luxury, but depreciation is brutal. The EQS SUV loses roughly 60% to 61% of its value, erasing over $66,000 from its $108,650 starting price. Design didn't help. Critics dubbed it the driving egg, and the rounded shape turned off buyers expecting classic Mercedes presence. At six-figure pricing, shoppers wanted S-Class refinement. Instead, many found hard plastics, a cramped third row, and overly complex controls. Compared to the gas-powered S-Class, the interior feels like a step backward. Market data from mid-2025 showed some examples losing nearly half their value in the first year alone. Ownership costs add insult to injury. Weighing around 5,600 pounds, the EQS SUV shreds its 21-inch tires, often needing replacements every 15,000 to 20,000 miles at $1,200 to $1,500 per set. Today, low-mile 2022 to 2023 models trade near $60,000 after costing well over $125,000. It's cutting-edge tech paired with financial pain. Number 3. Maserati Levante. Taking the bronze medal is the Maserati Levante. This exotic Italian SUV tempts buyers with dramatic looks and a Ferrari-tuned engine note, but it loses a catastrophic 63% to 79% of its value in 5 years. On a high-end Trofeo model, that can mean a loss of over $90,000. Insurance costs $6,000 a year. Gas costs $2,500 a year if you drive 15,000 miles. Oil changes cost $500. Brake jobs cost $3,000. The ownership costs are insane. Some estimates put the 10-year maintenance bill at over $11,000, with a high probability of major repairs. Maserati ranks dead last in reliability surveys every single year. The 2024 Levante is the last year. Maserati stopped making them. When a car is discontinued, the resale value dies. Nobody wants to buy a discontinued luxury car with no future support. The prospect of owning an aging Levante outside of warranty is a terrifying game of financial Russian roulette for most people, causing its resale value to fall off a cliff. 5-year data shows 74% value loss, with most damage happening in the first 2 years. The Levante has Ferrari engines but resale values like a cheap economy car. It's a financial disaster wrapped in Italian leather. Number 2. Toyota Mirai. Our runner-up is another shocking entry from Toyota, the Mirai hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. This isn't a battery EV, it's a bet on hydrogen technology. And it's a financial apocalypse, losing 77% to 80% of its value. Cars that were $50,000 plus new are selling for as little as $7,000 to $10,000. The problem isn't the car itself, it's the fuel. Shell closed all their hydrogen stations in California back in February 2024. The few stations still open are charging $36 per kilogram, triple what it cost in 2022. It costs $180 to fill up your tank. Owners are spending 2 to 3 hours just trying to find a working station. Sometimes the pumps freeze and your car gets stuck there for hours. Sometimes the stations run out of hydrogen for days. The hydrogen refueling infrastructure is basically non-existent outside of a few tiny pockets in California. Because so few people can actually use it, its resale value is practically zero. Some dealers offered people just $1,000 for their Mirai. Others flat out refused to take them. It's common to see 3-year-old Mirais selling for $7,000 to $10,000. That's a loss approaching 80% in just a few years, a complete financial wipeout. People are actually suing Toyota over this. Number 1. Fisker Ocean. This is the bottom of the barrel, the single worst vehicle on this list. The Fisker Ocean suffered a value collapse of nearly 80% in less than 2 years. Vehicles that originally sold for $41,000 to over $63,000 are now changing hands for $8,000 to $12,000. That level of loss is almost unheard of in the modern auto market. The Ocean entered the scene as a stylish, environmentally focused electric SUV positioned as a Tesla rival. On paper, it looked promising. In reality, ownership quickly turned into a nightmare. Buyers reported widespread software failures, drivetrain issues, random system shutdowns, and poor build quality almost immediately after delivery. The situation became irreversible in June 2024, when Fisker Inc. declared bankruptcy. With the company gone, warranty support disappeared overnight. Software updates stopped. Replacement parts became scarce, if not impossible to obtain. For a tech-heavy EV that relies on cloud services, that's a fatal flaw. Owners began experiencing failing key fobs, disabled driver assist features, frozen or blacked out center screens, and vehicles that simply wouldn't function. Some Oceans are effectively unusable. High-end launch editions once priced above $70,000 now struggle to fetch $15,000 or less at auction. The Fisker Ocean stands as a cautionary example of unchecked hype, weak execution, and the extreme financial risk of betting on an unproven automaker. If you're shopping for a car now, stay far away from these money pits. Stick with proven cars that actually hold their value. And if you enjoyed the content, smash that like button and subscribe for more auto content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.